Well, here lies this week's project right here. This is my 9-ton equipment trailer, and it's been needing some maintenance and some going through for quite a while now. It's got a bunch of little problems with it. It's got all kinds of cracks all over the place. Underneath, I can't remember where, but if I take one of the wheels off, it's got a hole in the frame that needs to be plated and welded up. It's just got this thing here where all the tools and the chains go is all rotted out. You could see right here. It's actually worse over here. That's why I got this board here, because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my chain. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut that out and get a new piece of steel cut for that, so I don't have to worry about my chains anymore. I've been using this trailer for a couple of years. It's been working, but it just needs, I need to actually go through it here. And it's the beginning of April, and my busy excavating season is going to be starting soon. So I really need to go through this thing. So I'm going to fix those cracks. I'm going to sandblast it. Another problem is all the brakes on this thing are shot. So it really needs new brakes. So I got 6 new brake sets for it to put in. And after I sandblast it, I'm going to paint it this Kubota orange right here. It was originally yellow. This is a 1972 General, but I think the orange would be best. I painted it green because somebody painted it green before I got it, and I just kind of painted it just to make it look good going down the road. But it's a point now where it needs some attention, and it needs to get fixed and get legal and everything again, so I don't have to worry about it. Good peace of mind. So I'm going to start tearing the deck boards. I put the deck boards on probably 2 years ago, hemlock, and been taking care of them. I rewired it, put new wheels on it and stuff, new lights and all that, but it just needs a little further going through. And there's another hole over there in the wheel well. I'm going to start by taking the deck boards off, taking these ramps off, and probably fix the cracks first, and then I'll get it sandblasted, painted, and then put the new brakes on, wire them up, and see what else needs to be fixed while it's apart. So let's get going and get this thing torn down. Well, there we are. It's all taken apart here. Got it up on jack stands. Got it all swept off so I can see what's going on. Wheels off. Oh. Yeah, frame is pretty pitted in this. I mean, You know, take a lot of work to get this thing back in new condition again, but now you can really see the damage here. I'm gonna try to cut that out if it's not too hard and put a new plate in there. Eventually I'd like to put a toolbox in there, but they're so freaking expensive. Whatever. Yeah, you could really see the hole in the frame right here. So that's, well, that actually looks like a hole in the camera, but it's not, just a reflection. But yeah, so I'm gonna make a plate and weld it over that, just to say I did something, I guess, about it. And I got a couple things to fix here. I got that spring, that bolt was gone, and that spring to hold that up. So see, the axles in this are pretty pitted too. But you know what? I mean, in a few years, I plan on buying like a 10 or 12 ton deck over. So I'm just gonna run this for a while, make it look good, you know, fix it up, give it what it needs, and then just, you know, run this for as long as I can until I can't no more. But yeah, I mean, it's still got a lot of life left into it. So I think I'm gonna give this thing a really good pressure wash to try to save on sandblasting sand. I'll try to get most of this crap off with the pressure washer, and then let it dry, or, you know, I'll weld the cracks up while it's drying or whatever, and then I'll sandblast it. So I'll go get the pressure washer hooked up, and we'll get our pressure wash, see what it looks like after that. We'll probably uncover a lot more damage after it's pressure washed and sandblasted. That's usually how it goes. guess I found the limit of these things. That broke pretty easy. That was way better. Oh well. Well, I finally got this thing all ready for paint. I got the little cracks welded up. One there. I got the plate welded on the frame to patch the hole that was in there. I got the tail lights and all that stuff taped off. Anybody that's watching this video for instructional stuff, I would imagine you know how to tape lights and stuff off. You know, there wasn't really much to do over here. I mean, this thing, you know, it's far from a new trailer. It's not like it's got tons of life left into it, so I'm not gonna go and do tons and tons of expensive work to this. I found out how much this thing was, 3/16 steel. It was like $100 just to buy this. I said screw that, so you know what, I could jump on this and it ain't going anywhere. So what if it's got some rot holes? You know what, for $100 for that piece of steel, I'm not gonna worry about it. So, you know, it's just not worth putting that kind of money into something like that. But yeah, I got it all ready to paint here, got it all blown off. And I know in the beginning of the video I said I was gonna sandblast this thing, and I didn't, because when I pressure washed it, that did plenty enough good job to where, you know, I didn't think it was worth wasting the resources. You know, sand these days is outrageous, the price of it. And for these 50-pound bags right here, they're like 12 or 15 bucks. The way that I found is cheaper if you don't have something real nice to do is this coal slag right here. But, you know, if you want a really good job, you buy the sand. But yeah, sand, I remember when sand used to be like $4 for 100 pounds. Now it's outrageous. So I didn't see wasting the resources and the money to sandblast this trailer, because it's not like it's a showpiece. When it comes time to do my truck, I'll do the right thing. But anyway, actually, before I get started here, I just I kind of got a surprise for my loyal viewers, I guess I can say, you guys that watch all my videos. I'll do a separate video on this about the truck itself, but I finally picked out the color for my 62 Peterbilt. It's a real nice color. I spent some time going through some color chip books and finally picked out the color. So check this out. Check that out, man. That is beautiful. I had my father spray some of this on an old Duster model I had laying around. But I mean, try to get you a good angle on it. There we go. In the sun. That's a so that's a really nice color. That's the color I've been trying to find. But anyway, yeah, you've seen enough of that. But yeah, that truck over there is going to look awesome, that color, I think. So kind of picture it. Yeah, I'll do a separate video on that anyway, because I'm going to do the door jambs pretty quick on that truck, paint them this color. But anyway, we'll get back to the trailer. This trailer, this orange right here, this Kubota orange, you know, I think that's that'll be cool because it'll match my International. It'll, you know, that's the truck that normally pulls that trailer, so it'll be a pretty cool paint. And yeah, I got all the stuff moved out of the driveway. because like the trucks, you know, the 62 Pete I didn't move out of the driveway because that's going to get painted anyway. I can care less if it gets all overspray, but the cars and stuff so are gone because this stuff spreads like wildfire. It just gets all over everything. I don't really have a big enough mixing cup because I know this is going to take tons of paint. So I'm going to try one of these stupid pretzel containers right here. See what that does. So hopefully it don't melt. I know sometimes this certain plastics like to melt with the paint because it can't handle it. But you know, when you buy this paint from, I bought this paint from Tractor Supply. When you buy it, I'm pretty sure a lot of this paint, like this Rust-Oleum and stuff, you know, I don't know if it says you're not supposed to, but I don't really think it's made to reduce. I think it's just made to go on there with like a paintbrush or whatever. But what I do is try to explain this as I'm working here. I mixed this up a little bit already, so I guess it shouldn't be too long. I'm not going to mix that up right initially because I don't know if it's going to react with this plastic or not. And this is going to take a lot of paint, so those little mixing cups, I'd have to mix up 100 of them. You see how thick it is. You'd never be able to spray that through a spray gun. So I just take enamel reducer. You know, there's 100 different ways to do stuff, but this particular thing, this is a trailer, and you know, it's not like it's a $100,000 show car, something like that. If it was a $100,000 show car, I sure as heck wouldn't be painting it on a bench with sawdust everywhere. As far as this kind of stuff like this, all I do is I mix it until I think it's good enough, and then it's good enough. I don't go crazy trying to, I don't know. This is my own thing. Usually what I do when I'm kind of winging it like this is I take some paint on the stick and I kind of touch the can, the side of the can, and when it runs down kind of fast, that's how I know it's reduced good enough for my liking. I mean, everybody has their own thing. It depends on what kind of spray gun you're using. Depends on what kind of paint you're using. It depends on your own preference, what you like personally. You know, with this kind of like equipment and stuff right here, when you're kind of painting over rust and shit, and you know, it doesn't really matter. You're probably better off leaving it a little thicker. See, that's pretty good right there. See how it's running like that? That's kind of how I usually judge it, you know, or whatever. And the next thing I do is, again, it doesn't say anything in the directions in these, you know, the Rust-Oleum in this tractor paint, but I put enamel reducer into this. You know, just like it was single stage enamel or hardener. I said reducer, didn't I? So I just put a little bit of hardener in this, because this tractor paint here kind of sucks because it takes forever to dry. The Rust-Oleum is actually a lot quicker to dry, but that's all I do. And it, you know what, it works really good. And you know, like I said, you don't want to paint a car or something important with it, but for implements and trailers and frames and, you know, just equipment and stuff, I mean, it's really the cheapest way you go. And the thing of this is like, it's like 35 bucks or something like that. Thing of reducer is, I don't know, I think like 15 or 20 or something like that. So you know what, you really can't beat it. All right, for pressure, I'm running about 40 pounds. It's a little bit windy out today to paint, so I'm gonna run the pressure a little higher, so I can try to lob it on there a little better. Let's just kind of do a quick sample here, see what it's gonna look like, see how it's gonna lay down. do a little more. See, I got an orange shirt on, that way when I get all paint, it's not going to show up. Smart, right? That's going to look pretty good, I think. Alright, so let's go put this back. You know, normally I don't, you guys don't see me paint a lot of things because I don't want my camera getting all crap, but I actually got a surprise. Where this trailer sits just happens to be right there under that window. So you'll get to see me paint this whole trailer from up there behind the window, and then I don't have to worry about my Hero 8 getting all overspray and all kinds of shit on it. Well, here it is the next day. I got this thing all painted. Took about 3 gallons all together. Took 2 gallons of paint and about a gallon of reducer, some hardener. So there's a lot of painting to do. Came out really nice though. Looks really good. Did a good job and got all down in all the nooks and crannies and everything. painted the insides of the frame rails. You know, it'll look really good. And it really shows the rot holes that are in the fenders better, but you know what? It's a used trailer. It's, you know, about 40 years old, so you know, it's still in good shape for 40 years old. I'm sure this thing's been used and abused. So yeah, it came out really good. So it took, like I said, it took 3 gallons of paint. So I guess if you're looking to do something similar to this, it's probably what you're going to expect. So the next thing is to do is to start pulling these brakes off right here. Zoe's going to help pull these brakes off and start doing the brakes and start wiring the brakes. To wire the brakes, I'm just going to use speaker wire, heavy duty speaker wire. That seems to work the best because it's you know, 2 wires in one thing. So we'll start pulling this one off here, and we'll see what's entailed with that project. Wow. Right in the dirt. That's how it always happens, right? Oh well. I got new caps for this. I just put one on to make sure they fit. I should have waited, but whatever. there. Alright, there's one. I just gotta do 5 more and then we'll get this thing wired up here. Now the next thing I'm putting on this trailer is the breakaway kit. I got the battery pack, it's rechargeable, and the breakaway switch itself. So I figured this right here was the safest spot to mount it, so I just drilled the holes to mount the battery pack, and the breakaway switch itself originally was there. So I'm going to put it back there, same spot, so we'll get those put on. On these wires here, it's pretty simple how they go on. So you have the blue wires for the breakaway switch, and then these 3. This wire here, or one of, doesn't matter what blue wire, one of them goes from the blue to blue on the box to the switch, and then the other wire goes directly to the wire that runs the hot wire that runs your electric brakes. The black wire that comes out of this box goes to a battery hot coming from the truck into the trailer, and then the white's the ground. This one here is to recharge the unit. I'd say most trailers don't have a battery ground or a battery wire that goes to it, so I'm gonna have to decide what I want to do. Probably just run another hot wire into my plug, because I have like 3 or 4 plug terminals that I can use yet, so I'll probably go ahead and do that. But this is all mounted. All I got to do is wire it up now. Just got the new reflectors in. Go right here, orange for the front, red for the back. Alright, there's another problem here that I gotta fix. See that bolt right there that holds the leaf spring in? Let the jack down. See how much play is in this thing? There you go. So that bolt at some point is gonna break off, probably when some asshole pulls out in front of me and I have to slam on my brakes, and is probably when that bolt's gonna finish breaking, or something's gonna break. So I'm gonna replace these bolts here on these spring hangers, so hopefully they'll stay intact. There. Nice grade 8 5/8 bolt in there. You could see that one there was pretty wore out. So it's just a matter of time before that head popped off of that and the whole spring came off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side like that because it's the same way, and peace of mind is priceless. So now if I gotta hit my brakes, I'm gonna know that my axle ain't gonna just rip right out. Well, this thing's been a ton of work. It's the next day and I'm finally ready to put this thing back together here. I got all 6 brakes all installed and new hubcaps, if that matters. Got it all wired, all the brakes going across, all 6 brakes meet right there on the center, and then 2 big wires go up to the front. And I I mounted the breakaway box there, as you've seen. I got this all wired in, all nice and tucked in up there. I got all the grounds hooked up right there, all nicey nice. Here's the breakaway switch, little pole thing on it, and I guess that's it. I mean, it was a lot of work because I ended up going through and packing all the bearings. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I decided to go through and pack all the bearings, and I had to adjust the brakes and all that stuff. And then the wiring took a long time. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's about as good as it's gonna get. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the wheels back on, get the deck back on, and after that, the only thing left to do is paint these ramps. I'm not going to go crazy on these because these things take a hell of a beating. So these are just going to get pressure washed and just painted black, most likely. And then I'm just going to call it a day. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. Oh yeah, and I got some reflective stickers I'm going to put on here. You know, I don't want the DOT to break my chops over a bunch of stupid stuff, so I'm going to make this thing look as good and make it as safe as possible for a 1972, and it is what it is. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. One less thing I have to worry about, so let's go ahead and get her together. And so here it is. I got all the ramps painted, got them painted black. It came out really nice. It looks really good. Got a piece of hardwood there to hold all the boards together, and I got the reflectors on, front ones and the back ones. It really looks all nice and detailed. The wheels make it look really good and everything. So there's only one more thing that I have to do with it, and that is put this reflective tape on the side. Alright, well, I'll just do the other side the same way. It looks pretty good. I don't really think this is necessary. I think this is only necessary over 40 feet, but well, safer the better, right? Alright, well, it's finally done, and the test drive proved that it's going to hold up. Nothing got abnormally warm or anything like that. I know down the road I'm going to have to adjust some of the brakes, and I did test the brakes. Everything works. The only thing I'm going to have to do is get something different. I'm going to have to hook this. I want to hook that up here, the breakaway cable. So I'm gonna have to get like a ring or something that fits around this, that I can hook that to, so it won't get pulled out or anything as I'm going around the corner. That would suck. But that's really the only thing that I had trouble with. Everything else seemed to pass the test. It looks really nice going down the road, I'm sure. So I hope everybody enjoyed that ride in the skid steer as I was going down the road with this. Love hearing that Detroit diesel scream. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It came out really good. It was a lot of work. I'd say it probably took me about 5 days. I mean, not full days, but it took me about 5 days to do this whole project. It was a lot of work, so I'm happy with the way it came out, and I got a nice trailer to tow, so shouldn't be any complaints about safety or not looking good or whatever going down the road. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. So this is where this video is going to end, and I guess we'll see everyone in the next video, and thanks for watching.